What is good, my people, my peeps? How are you guys doing? I am still here. I know it's been a minute, but I thought that I would come on and talk to you guys about something that just crossed my mind today. And it is about gang stalking and some new theories. Well, just basically one or maybe two I'm going to focus on, which I think has increased the amount of perps. Okay, so that is this is an open mic. This is an open mic night. So I'm going to be talking about those theories, those two theories, and yeah, and then also just talking, just running my mouth at the end about some things that I discovered, and I want to share with you all. Okay, so I wanted to get into gang stalking, and I was out and about today, and I happened to take a break and I looked at TikTok. And when I was on TikTok, there was a child. You know, all these the ring cams that they have. Okay, so everybody's capturing different things on the ring cams when people come up, and sometimes they're funny and whatever they capture, they're posting it. And so this lady had posted a video about her daughter. Her daughter was in the ring camp, and I guess the lady had told her daughter to, go and get the rest of the groceries out of the car and bring them into the house. Now, mind you, this girl, her daughter, had to be about, I want to say, 6 or 7 years old. Okay, young, very young girl. And so the mother captured the young girl talking back. You know how sometimes you got to add to howdy, howdy, how you doing? uh, so the mother caught the young girl, talking smack. Now, mind you, I know I'm old school. I can't help the fact, but these kids nowadays, um, they are something different. So this is some of the things that I want to talk to you guys about regarding some of the new tactics or the new theory that I have regarding gang stalking. Okay, okay, that's what's up. I'm good. How are you? I am good. I'm doing well. I'm hanging in there. I hope you're hanging in there too. That's all we can do, right? Make it through. Um, and but so much is changing, and I just wanted to talk about some theories that I that just crossed my mind. And like I was talking about the young girl in the ring camp, and so uh, the mother caught the young girl. I mean, cussing like a grown woman. Okay. And I was like, wow, goodness, these children are I mean, they're using words that now mind you, okay. Mind you, we cursed when we were little, but we didn't curse like, I mean, this young girl was like, I'm tired. No, let me get it right. Let me get it right. She said, this bee got me messed up. Now this little girl ain't she's talking about her mother, okay? And she's like, this bee got me messed up. Um, and then she says, I'm tired of this effing, S. And I was like, wow. And so I went to the comments because I wanted to see what were people saying about this young girl cussing. And in the comments, just, laughing emojis, people just, you know, commenting on basically how funny it was that this little girl was cussing basically at her mom, but her mom wasn't in her presence. Now, I know when I was young, we got in trouble, we huffed and puffed, but we didn't cuss like that, like these kids are doing now. I mean, even if it's just something like a child tasting something and the mom or whoever's videoing, these kids are just cussing like sailors, like grown adults, and the people are finding this so amusing, so funny. Not me. I don't find it cute. I don't find it funny because I know the way you raise your children, that aids in how they grow and react and handle situations in life, right? And with all this disrespect, and the disrespect is going towards their mother. And I thought about sharing a video here on YouTube. I shared it on TikTok, but I had to take it down because I got a violation on TikTok. But it wasn't even showing anything violent, but it was the aftermath of the violence. And it was this just happened recently in Oklahoma, where a 12-year-old girl she stabbed her brother to death. And the young girl was like, it was the body cam that they were showing, and I just put it on my page, but I had to take it down because they blocked the video. And I don't know why, because it was from the news, it was from the police, you know. So, but anyway, and the young girl kept saying, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. She kept repeating this as she's crying. But when I listened to that video, I also heard her say, I didn't mean for it to go this far this time. And when I heard that, that automatically let me know that there was some type of just violent explosions or interactions with her brother, who was 9 years old, that she stabbed to death. And I think this took place like last week or a couple of weeks ago in Oklahoma. And so I was like, dog. And she's just crying, and she just kept saying, I'm sorry, Mom, and I'm sorry. And all I could think of is sorry is not gonna cut it this time. That is not gonna cut it. And you know, the mom is in the background screaming and yelling, you stabbed him, you killed him. And I'm like, it just brought me back to thinking about all these little kids, you know, 2 and 3 years old, cursing, and the parents thinking that it's cute, and little boys hitting and fighting back. And I'm like, these little boys are going to grow up to be men. They're not always going to be little people, you know, and you're not critiquing their behavior and guiding them in a different direction, which you're creating a monster. And that's what my people on TikTok, that's what they seen watching that video of this 12-year-old girl stabbing her brother to death. Well, they didn't show the stabbing, they just showed the arrest. And I feel that that's what's happening regarding these little ones with the cursing. It builds, it, you know, escalates to something that you can't take back. You can't say sorry for. So let me see what you're saying. Put it up here for a minute. Oh yeah, most of them are straight crap. They are social engineered. You know, okay, let me read the rest of this. Engineer. Media, the videos go viral because of these media companies. Oh, it's not. It's, what do you mean the media companies like TikTok? I don't know, because a media company is different, I think, from an app, from the different applications that they have out here, such as TikTok, Rumble. Because a media company will handle all aspects of media. You know, they will handle TikTok, Rumble, all of it. But application, they only stick to their logo and their brand. You know, let me see. Yeah, the world is screwed up. For real, for real. Things aren't as bad as what we see on social media. What do you mean by that? I think it's actually worse. That's where I'm actually going with this. I think it's worse than what we actually get to see. Just like people kind of had that idea when African American, otherwise known as Black folks, now known as Israel, was complaining about police brutality and how they were treated by police. And people were like, oh, they're just saying so much. It's just over the top. That's not really happening like that. They're not killing that many Black folks, Black men. They're not arresting Black men on that grand scale. They're just hyping it up. That was said, and until the video camera was put into these little tiny phones, these devices that we have, and the aid of the platforms like YouTube and TikTok and all that helped to bring more light to the situation, that things are worse for that particular group of people regarding police brutality. And so that's why you started seeing a lot more change coming about. And some of it was good, some of it's bad, and some of it hasn't moved at all. So I think a lot of things are worse and becoming worse because we are in a new era, moving into a higher dimension. Well, some of us are. Let me say that. Let me say some of us are. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you think that they're staged events? Now I'm not going to say that they're not all of them are factual and real. Um, but yeah, I can say some of those are a hoax and staged events. I can definitely concur with that. I can agree wholeheartedly because we, as target individuals, we know about street theater, right? And we know those events can be car accidents in front of you, blocking your path. You may be trying to go to work in a particular direction, and there's just like a big, massive car accident or something that's causing you to be late or what have you. And a lot of people didn't believe, or they don't understand about staged events and what we call street theater. Until recently, now you hear like mainstream media, or not necessarily a lot on mainstream media, but you hear a lot of people who we would consider mainstream that have not woken up, do not know about other crimes that are taking place in the world, because they would rather call them conspiracy theories than what they are, the truth. They are coming to the light of day to know that, oh, we have crisis actors, and these crisis actors, they will pull off a major event, because you tell a friend or a family member about street theater, and you say, well, they're constantly sending cops and what mines, I get helicopters, but that's not street theater. There's always an accident or something's going on or some kind of major drama, right? And people would be like, they wouldn't waste that kind of resources for you. They wouldn't have cops and fire trucks and all kind of drama for you or for me or for anyone, when in actuality they do these things. And they did it when you seen the raid on Washington, when former President Donald Trump was going up for re-election, and his supporters, and that's going to segue me into my next theory. I'm just bringing you into what I'm seeing with the youth, but with this stage event that happened in Washington on a grand scale. And these people were like summons to Washington via text messages, via private group chats. And even the FBI had their hand in this, and it's starting to come out. And even some of the people that marched on Washington and took over, what was it? I don't know which house that was. That it wasn't a house. It was the actual Congress. They took over that. Some of those people came out and said that they were crisis actors, and some of them were real. So imagine that being like it is right now in the world with targeted individuals and perps and handlers, and some people in the world are actually real, going about their day to day and get pulled into being a part of a staged event. And some of them will be crisis actors, and some of people might be actually people that really do not know what is going on. And that just makes the whole event look more realistic, right? These things are slowly starting to come to light, that they put on these stage events. I mean, the whole world. It's so funny because when I was in high school, I took what was it called? You have electives, right? And I took theater. And not that I could act or anything. I just took theater because I didn't want to take something else that like gym. I'm not an athletic type person, so I'm staying away from anything of that sort. So I took theater, and I was an understudy in this play called All the World is a Stage. And now an understudy is just a person like you are a team member, right? And somebody is the main actor, and it was a young guy, right? And all the world. The play All the World is a Stage. I think that's the name. All the World is a Stage. Yeah, I might be saying it wrong, but that's the basis of this play. And it had a nurse. It had everybody in life, and they had particular lines. Now, mind you, like I told you, I'm in this class just to get the credit and blow it off, because I was like trying to take something easy and get the credit and move on. And so I was an understudy on this play. And the main actor, I mean, he couldn't make it that day. And I halfway studied his lines, because the understudy studies the same lines as the actor, the main actor, just in case anything happens. Your backup, right? And just in case anything happens. And so this dude, I don't know if he got sick or whatever, but that night, opening night, I mean, he couldn't get sick on rehearsal, practice, or whatever. He got sick on opening night, and I had to go on stage and the lines that I remember. But thank goodness, because in plays, or doing when you have a play, there's somebody in the lower deck of the play that has the script and throws you your lines, even if it's a live play. So I made it through, but I brought that up because that play had everybody represented in that play in the world. Like I said, you had nurses, doctors, moms, dad, whatever. I can't remember the whole but the whole cast of the play. But basically, it was everyday people, and they were going through saying whatever they were saying about life. And come to find out, guys, this whole realm that we are in is a play. It's staged, right? And there is somebody who produced and wrote this out for us to go through. And people are waking up. I see more and more younger people on TikTok that have come to this realization. They won't say God. They'll say a higher power. They'll say everything but the Most High, because how churches went about, trying to spread awareness of a higher being, which is the Most High. And so the younger people on TikTok, they're waking up, they're reaching to other sources, but they realize that this is a stage. A lot of them call it, this is a hologram. But there's a reason why we are here in this particular hologram we call Earth, right? And the more and more people that wake up to realize that this stuff can't be staged, and a lot of things that have happened in your life has been nothing but a staged event, okay? Let me see. I'm trying to finish out what you have wrote up here. This is where it's at. Did you? Which one was it? Give us the juice. Which one was it? Give it to us. Make it plain. Which one did you try to expose? Let me see. Oh yeah, they work together. Well, if you work for if you were, it sounds like you may have been in corporate too, like myself. Or are you trying to mirror me? Don't try to mirror me. Make it plain. But you can work in corporate, or you can work for McDonald's. There is no help for the weary. Okay, all HR is for the corporation or the wherever you work, and all of it's run by corporation. So if you work for McDonald's, you're working for a corporation, and yeah, there's nowhere to run to, baby, because HR is to protect the the owners, even though they say they're not. So if you go and you try to talk to the your supervisor, superior, and they refer you to HR, they're just referring you to their buddy, honey, that they go and drink with when they get off. Yeah. Uh, but no, your situation may not even be like mine, because yeah, I was not trying to expose anyone. I was wanting to go to court. Mine is a whole different situation, exposing people that the company has already exposed so much stuff within companies. You know what I'm saying? So no, mine was basically a court case. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I am going to go into so I talked about the young kids who are doing all this cussing out their parents, and the young girl who was 12 years old who stabbed her 9-year-old brother. Now, where this is where it's at mentioned this all may be staged, which could be true. But why would they stage certain events? You have to ask yourself, why would they stage certain events? Why do they only put certain information on the television through mass media? Why do they do these particular things? Because there's a reason. Although this may be just all a hologram, it may be fake. We may be in a Earth is a prison planet. All these things you have heard. It may be all of that, but why do they do these particular things? It's called propaganda. Okay, it's called propaganda. And oh, hey, Tanya's in the building. How you doing, Tanya? So it's propaganda. And with propaganda, it is a way to maneuver whoever is spewing out this propaganda, to maneuver people into line with their agenda. Okay, so if this young girl who is 12 years old, who stabbed her brother to death, I just gonna put it out there, it wasn't an African American, it was not no one of color. It was a Caucasian young girl who stabbed her Caucasian brother to death. Yeah, you would think, because back, in times past, and a little bit to this day, but people have gotten wind of how they bombarded mass media, television, with the images of Black people committing crimes, Black people, Israel committing these crimes, all on TV because it was propaganda. It was a way of converting people's minds to believe that Blacks commit crimes. Blacks people are bad people. This is all they do, and this is what they're known to do, right? And so that's why you have a lot of stereotypes because of this propaganda that was spewed out. But now you're seeing, and I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but they're starting to show a lot of white people, you know, doing crimes or committing crimes or getting arrested by the cops. And so anyway, this young girl was a white 12-year-old girl who stabbed her 9-year-old brother to death. And they showed her getting arrested. They showed all the drama. And I think that is a way of they're switching their agenda. They're switching their agenda just like the polls are switching. Okay. Now, you might be like, oh, that's a long stretch of thought process you have, Nicole. But this is what I'm seeing. They're putting this on the news. Before you could not hardly find the image or the name of an offender if it was a Caucasian person. But like I said, if it was someone that we formerly know as Black people, the name, probably the address, all that on headline news. Okay, it's switching. But my thing is, the young people are definitely out of control, and their mindset is it's changed so dramatically that it's shocking to me because, like I said, I could not have imagined cussing my mother out or my father or any adult at 6 years old, just because they asked me to go get the rest of the groceries out of the car or wash the dishes because it was my turn because we had chores. We might huff and puff and roll our eyes and hope our parent didn't see us to get smacked across the head to next week, right? But we didn't do all this cussing and fighting back and all of this, which is happening now. And that's why I say I believe that they are creating monsters here. And it leads to my new theory about gang stalking, with these minds that are easily manipulated through the media. These kids are seeing other kids act out through social media, right? Parents, these younger parents, think it's funny, think it's a game. So they're not correcting their behavior. They're blasting it across social media. And so then you have other younger parents that it's almost like they want to catch their kids cussing or allowing their kids to be disrespectful even to them. And then they're posting that. So now you have this ball, like a snowball effect that's rolling downhill, collecting more and more and more garbage of behavior, and to the point to where it'll lead to murder, or it'll lead to the mind being so malleable, so in its developmental stage that you can create gang stalkers. Okay, yes, you can create gang stalkers because from the house to the school, back to the house, and all of this, and no correction, because you've also seen kids act out in schools, fighting and wanting to beat up teachers. And I do know that there have been some teachers that have been in the wrong as well, right? Fighting students, but this uptick in students fighting teachers, where you're having teachers not returning to their profession because of the behavior, the severe behavior of the students. And so if you listen to those videos and we call them the instigators back in the day, and they're still referred to as instigators. You can hear the instigators in the background of those fight scenes, or even the children, the little 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds. You can hear grown as people instigating their behavior, laughing and egging it on, to where this is why I feel that it breeds. This is one of my theories. It breeds these um, perps, these gang stalkers, because they haven't had any correction in their life. They have been steered down a path of destruction. Okay, so it would feel normal to them to be swayed into following people around, or thinking that in their mind they may perceive it to be a game, but their mind is not developed fully. I believe, this is just my theory, this is my thoughts, that their mind is still in a loop, if you will, and we can call them loopers. Okay, these people are they can get stuck because they have not fully developed. Their bodies are, growing and developing day by day, but their mind is stuck in a place where they may have found happiness, or they may have found power, or they enjoyed the group that they were with, and the disrespect that they can inflict on others, but have the backing of their whole dysfunctional group that they've hung out with. In high school, we've all had groups that we associated with. I can recall the groups in my high school. You had the preps, you had the nerds, you had the jocks, the cheerleaders. All of these were little cliques, right? And with the people that were in these cliques, they were clicked up because they related to each other in that particular way. Like, if you were a nerd, you were known to be a brainiac, you were known to be smart, you were known to want to focus on your studies, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. So if these cliques that were so common, I guess I could say, um, are null and void pretty much nowadays. You still have the basic cliques, but they've been infiltrated throughout the plane. Okay, so you still may see in schools the jocks, the nerdy kids. You still may see the cheerleaders, right? And and so on and so forth. The preppy kids. I don't even know if they call them preppy kids, but they were different from the nerds. But they look like they would go to like Yale. They were dressed like that, very preppy. From where I grew up, when I went to high school at. So you. So within all of these different groups, these people within those groups still had their own mindset of right and wrong, right? But I feel nowadays, in 2023, all of these groups still exist. But however, there is one common thread that is running through these groups, and it is the willingness and the common denominator of disrespect, the common denominator of not having any compassion for humanity. Um, and the thing is, although they may be in these particular groups or cliques, they are in those cliques for comfort. If you can believe it or not, that's why people click up, for comfort, for stability. But they're in these cliques nowadays. But that one common thread that runs through all of those groups is they have lost their compassion for humanity, for society, And so therefore, that is why you can see as a target individual, you can actually see when the perps are around you, and if you're out and about and they're trying to get the, their information via picture, via video, you can see, if you pay attention, you can actually see the people that would align to different cliques. And I'm not even talking about race. I'm talking about different cliques of people. You can see people that look like they would be nerdy people, people, gamers. You can see that look like they would hang out together, bikers with their tatted up, that look like they ride, motorcycle, gang. You can see all of this, all of these different types of people when you're out and about, or let me call them perps, when you're out and about, right? And that's because, and a lot of them are younger, but you do have those baby boomers, the ones that are even older than me, that would shock you, like, why aren't you at home knitting a sweater or something? No, they're out gang stalking. And these older people too, they're caught in the loop too. See, the older people that you see that can hardly make it from the parking lot to the store or inside a vehicle, they're probably even driving one of those little scooters because they can't walk well, are perps, are gang stalkers, right? And I'm not discounting, because you've heard it so many times in my lives. I already know that this is spiritual. I don't have to just continue to ram this into you. You know, this is part spiritual. I'm talking about a different aspect, a new theory regarding these gang stalkers, okay, the perps. And with these baby boomers, you see, some of you guys may feel your grandma and your great grandma, because your great grandma are the baby boomers, are stalkers, are perps, right? In your family, are, you see these type of people out in society when you're out and about. Well, I believe they're loopers too, you see. And these people have been indoctrinated with society norms. Hold on for a minute, guys. With society norms. So they're capped too, they are actually, they have, they drink the red Kool-Aid, basically, these baby boomers. They believe everything that the government tells them. They believe everything that their doctor tells them. They believe everything that, if they go to church, everything that the minister tells them, and nobody can wake them up, right? And so therefore, if their minister, for example, informs them of this program, but frames it in a different light, okay? Oh, there are people, I'm going to act like the minister. There are people in this world that we don't know the lies that they tell these people to even get them to want to stalk or hunt down people, because that's basically what they're doing to get their tokens for the day, the year, or whatever. But the minister in the church will frame it in a particular way to sway these baby boomers into gang stalking, and they have received the mission via their their mind being capped, their thoughts being at a standstill. And these are, and also I feel with the younger and the older, these are people who cannot grow, um, and actually are evolved with life, with theories. Um, it has to be in a particular order, and if it's not in that order, in a chronological order, it just is not logical to them. Okay, um, so that's where their growth stops at. And see, when if you look at anything in the world, when you stop growing, what happens? You start to die, right? You start to die. And so the older uh, perps, they're basically the walking dead. And the younger, they're basically the walking dead, because they have stopped their growth. Their body is continuing to grow, but their mind is actually capped. And with the younger, they think they are on some wild, adventurous ride, and they're so what's the word that I want? Innovative. But they really don't understand that they basically are um, uh, under the puppet master's control. Okay, let me see what else you guys are saying. What? The police beat up trailer park people too. Oh my goodness. No, I know that. And trailer park people aren't black folks live in trailer parks. So if you was trying to say white folks, poor white people, disadvantaged poor white people, yes, they do. But they're also starting to put this on the news more as well. Now, I don't know if they're trying to show more white people being accosted by or beat up by the cops, or police brutality occurring with them to justify that it's basically an average occurrence, and black people are just complaining too much and saying, taking it over the top. But anyway, we'll see with that agenda, what they're trying to do with that agenda. Um, what is this? Hmm. Agenda 2030 is coming quickly. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Yes. I'm going to sidetrack because you mentioned Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030 is coming quickly. There's just it's so much going on in the world, um, and so many agendas that are occurring. Um, and one of the battles that I've been seeing also here of late is the transsexual battle. And I'm gonna do a video and put it together for you guys to to watch, where the transsexuals are upset. Well, if you've been on any social media platforms, you probably have heard about this, that they're upset because they want basically the word woman removed, because out of the vocabulary, although they have um, they have chosen the sex, the gender that they want to represent. They've chosen the pronouns that they want to be referred by. They've molded their world and integrated their thoughts and their preferences into mainstream society. However, that has not been quite enough for them. They are wanting to call women birthers. They want to call them birthers. They want to are cis women, because they don't want the word woman to exist, basically because they feel that they are a woman. And so that is just, and this may upset people who are trans. This is something that you and the Most High have to work out. your pathway that you took or chose, or felt that something was, that he did something wrong in the making of you as a person, a soul. Um, so that's your walk and your path that you have to work out with the Most High when you come across, go down that way. But I want to say that I feel is another form of population control. Okay. Um, there are more and more transgender people coming out, um, talking about how they wish they had never had the surgery. I mean, these are not people who are bisexual or not, I mean transgender. I mean, they have totally changed their autonomy, their bodily functions, and all that, right? Um, but there are people that are coming out who went through this sex change, and they're saying, that they wish that they hadn't gone through the full sex change. And so statistics are showing that the suicide rate for transgenders are high. And a lot of these transgenders are upset also because they are pushing this transgender re surgery on adolescents, and adolescents are your teenagers and your young adults, to minors, to younger children. They're pushing this change at such a early age, when when you're so young in your development, you don't even know sometimes if you want to wear jeans or a skirt to school. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to dye your hair, don't dye your hair. Or it's so many things that young children and adolescents go through on top of puberty that it's ludicrous and insane, in my opinion, to push changing one's sex, um, which would be a form of mutilation, because that child's maturity level is not is not capable of making that decision. That decision is now being pushed by schools, administration, by other transgender groups. And what I feel is, if these are grown people who have made the decision to be transgender and change their sexual preference or sexual being to whatever, the male or female, they need to focus on themselves and leave the children alone. But that is all, in my opinion, an agenda for the. I'm gonna have to go get my charger. For along the lines of with the population agenda, okay? Because you may ask yourself, hold on, guys, I gotta go run and get my charger real quick. So hold on. Okay, let me put this up. Uh, Y'all gonna hear a little noise. I'm trying not to make it too noisy. Okay, so okay, so hold on. Did I just turn this off? Oop. Hold on, guys. Just don't want to charge in this one. Come on. Okay, so This doesn't want to charge. So this is going to be quick. This is going to be quick because the charger doesn't want to charge in this plug. So, hold on. Let me see if this one will work over here. Got so much going on. Oops. I'm turned off. Turn off the lights and light a candle. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see what plug I want to unplug. One of these lights got to go. So, like I was saying, I believe it's well, that don't want to work either. Okay, you want to give me the blues today? It's all right. Turn the light back on. So I'm gonna make this quick because this is going down. It's an agenda. I know people are probably tired of hearing even the word agenda, but the trans community, if they truly were focused on their plight, they would focus on developing themselves, not the children, and not focusing on and this is the thing. It's so many agendas that I see out here. They wouldn't focus on the children, and they wouldn't focus on the women and the word woman. Because here's the thing, there is a agenda to there's a hate, there's a visceral hate for women. And I know you might be like, what? It's this is outside of the so-called African American community. This is just overall. There is a visceral hate for women, and this is a secondary, well, maybe fifth dairy agenda, sixth dairy. No, I say that right. Agenda, the 10th, the 9th agenda. There is a visceral hate for women. Okay, and so not only do they want to change the children and make them trans with the sexual operation. I don't even know the scientific name for it, but they want to erase even the term woman. And you may say, well, no, I mean, why can't you be called cis woman? Why can't you be called birthers? And it was, I don't know if this man was a doctor or he was just speaking at a conference regarding transgenders, and they had transgenders there and other people on the other hand, on the, against transgenders. And so this man, I'm going to presume he was a doctor, asked the question to a transgender person, which was a male who changed his sex to female. And he said, okay, if you took 100 males and put them on a desert island, and 20 years from now, what would you have? I want you to think about this. If you get it in the chat, put it in the chat. If you take 100 males and transgender males and put them on an island, transgender, so or female, so it could be transgender from a female to a male or a male to a female. Their sexual organs have been altered, okay, and put them on an island. No, wait a minute. He didn't say the females were on there. The males, put them on an island. What would you have? If you take a man and a woman and put them on an island. 100, 100, you know, well, 50-50, men and women, put them on an island. What would you have 20 years later? And he said on the island with the transgender males, men to women, and if after these years passed, say they died off, you would have 100 male bones basically on the island. Okay, and if you went to and I'm paraphrasing this big time, and if you went to the other island, you would see um, 50 male bones and 50 female bones. And how do they know that? It's by biology. Okay. And not only would you probably have those 50 male bones and 50 female bones, but you would have offspring. You would have their children still functioning and living. And I said 20 years. We know we don't die in 20 years, but I'm just trying to, get the point across. Um, you would have their offspring living, surviving, and the cycle continues with humanity. But on the other island, it is over. It is dead. It's almost like, if you are a history buff, you may have heard of Easter Island, where those big, huge statues of human head, not human heads, but the carvings of these heads on this island. It was called Easter Island, and the people. It was a beautiful island. It was thriving, and it was you know lush with food and vegetation and animals, but it was an island. An island is surrounded by water, and these people went onto this island and they devoured the food, the animals, and it wasn't a sustainable. They didn't sustain themselves. They didn't replant any, trees. They cut down all the trees, everything. They cut down the last tree. They didn't even have a tree to make a boat to escape the island. So they all died. And so when this great mystery came about to why are these statues here on this island? Because it used to be inhabited. But the people went onto the island and they devoured it like they are doing Earth right now. They're devouring Earth. They're killing and poisoning. But I can go on and on. I won't go down another another agenda. But yeah, so there's a visceral hate towards women, and it's in the trans community, and so they want to change everybody's sexes to where you are not even able to have babies naturally. And they also want to, not just the trans, we're going to put them aside, put them on the shelf right now, but your government is going to want to enact laws and bills regarding your reproduction. Okay. They're going to want to, they already want to control everything about you, everything. So they are going to want you to only be able to have one child. And I remember it was a movie, and I think Bruce, I can't remember his last name. He was in this movie. It was kind of weird. And Chris Rock was in it. Chris Rock's hair was was it Chris Rock or, not Chris Rock. No, not Chris Rock. What was the black comedian that played in all with Jackie Chan and all of that? All of those movies. It was him. If y'all know those movies where he played in with Jackie Chan. But it was a wild movie, and it was kind of like a space type movie, a futuristic movie. But these people in this movie, there was a lottery to even procreate, to have a child. And it was like a one child lottery. Okay. Chris Tucker. Thank you. Oh, hey. Thank you. All right, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker was in this movie. I can't remember the movie. I was young when I saw that movie. It was just so weird and freaky. But I remember parts of that movie. Yep, my battery's going down. I remember parts of that movie. And that movie, there was a lottery to have children. And then even Chris Tucker played a rapper. That's what he did. He played a rapper. And he had the crazy funky hair. He had the feminine like clothes on, like you see now. You know how we know these movies tell us things, right? So predictive programming, and they also did not have intercourse with one another. They had the way they did intercourse was like they put their hands together. It was some kind of like meditation. And so Bruce Willis, Bruce Willis was with some female. I can't remember the whole just of the movie, but he was with some female, and they were going to have intercourse, right? So she said, "Oh, intercourse! You would like to have intercourse with me? Okay." So they sit down in front of each other, and she puts her hands up like this, and Bruce is like, no, I want to have intercourse with you, And she said, "Oh, the old way. Oh, you mean with body fluids and all?" So I'm telling y'all check out the movie if you can find it. If I can remember the movie. Oh, thank you. Is that the name of it? Silo on Apple TV has a similar plot right now. Oh, okay, that's what it's called, Silo. Okay, this one is like an old movie. This one is Demolition Man. There it is. Demolition Man. Y'all gotta watch it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird movie, but you'll see some of the things that they told you in that movie, but the movie was so out there that you probably didn't even watch. You probably didn't pay attention to it. But these are things that are happening today, and so they're going to want you to make love to robots instead of humans. They're going to want you to not exchange body fluids and hold your hands up, say do re mi fa sol la ti. No, I'm just playing. But they're not going to want you to have intercourse. They are satanic. Okay, they're taking out everything of nature and God. When Satan corrupted the beauty, the of love making with making it foul and just dirty. Well, that's just not enough for him, because we as a society have the cup is overflowing. It's flowing over. That's why the Most High getting ready to come back. The cup is overflowing, and so now he's gonna want you don't exchange nobody, because he's going to make it he's gonna put that seed into your mind that already started back in 2019 about touching folks and being too close to people. Well, it's going to just build to a crescendo, because Satan does not even want you to now even engage in love making, right? So he's going to make you society feel that exchanging body fluids is disgusting, and let the labs do it, because they're already creating labs like you've seen in the Matrix. Well, it wasn't a lab, but those pods that you've seen in the Matrix, where the babies they grew in the pods. Well, they're probably still going to need body fluids and stem cells and such, these things to create these babies. But they're going to want to do it like they say the Greys do. They abduct women and take their eggs, and they are the Greys. They are the Greys, okay? They're going to want to just abduct you and take your semen sample and the female's eggs, and you stay 10 feet apart. Matter of fact, only interaction you can have is on these screens, okay? And when we want to abduct you, we'll come in the middle of the night and take your semen and take some eggs, and we'll store them for billions of years, and we'll just keep cloning people until we clone ourselves out of existence, and then the machines will take over. That's what they want. They just don't want nothing natural from the Most High, right? So anyway, I got totally sidetracked. So I told you about what's going on with the children. I got to speed it up because my battery is going. Audio's popping now. That's okay. I'm gonna speed it up. I'm about to speed it up. And so this is the second theory I have regarding gang stalking is we talked about social media. This is where it's at. Talked about social media. I don't know. I don't know if he works for our he. I think this he works for a social media company. We're gonna see about that. Wait, I should ask you, but I won't put you out on Main Street. Okay. So I thought about this. You know, we hear about these Karens, right? All these Karens coming out of the woodwork showing they ASS all over the world. Not just in America. It's spread like a virus. I'm telling you, this shift has made folks go crazy, and they know their time is up. And it's not just Karens, it's Kens, and it's other folks acting a fool, right? But the Karens, we know about the Karens, okay? Oh, you'll share your story? Okay, I email you. I gotta get an email. That's a whole other. I haven't talked to y'all in so long. Yeah, I have to talk to y'all about emails. But the Karen situation, you know how that exploded. I don't even know what year that took off. That exploded. Does anybody know what year? My thing is showing up. Can't reach over here. No. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I knocked this down. Hold on for a minute because this is about to go, and I want to finish the Karen thing. Hold on. Ugh. We're moving destinations. Okay. Come to our trusty. I try to give y'all a different hold on. I'll look up to the ceiling real quick. So it's my shirt plop open. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. So I don't know when the Karen thing blew up, right? But when the first Karen hit the scene, ooh, hold on. Okay. When the first Karen hit the scene. But anyway, these Karens out here, they're everywhere, right? Kens, Karens, and just plain crazy folks. But with social media and people videotaping the Karens, just like we talked about earlier, people videotaping police brutality brought it to the forefront more. You know, it wasn't just controlled by the media, right, and the narrative they wanted to push regarding regarding police brutality. Well, regarding Karens, people recorded them, right? And so now they can't hide and they can't lie and say, "Oh, I would never be so mean to somebody." No, you caught, you on camera, so the camera's not lying. And so I was looking at social media, just different platforms. And you know, certain Karens acting up, just calling folks out their names and just being so ugly, especially on TikTok. Okay, and so TikTok, these people will post the Karen's information or just the picture or the video, and these large platforms, they because there's like major, just some large platforms, just like on any of these social media apps. But there's some major influencers, right? And so some of them, their main focus is like, I guess, justice for the average person, right? And so they get these videos sent to them or tagged in the videos so that they can do a report or talk about it on their platforms. And so once these people are finished talking about it on their platform, they're like, yeah, find them. Or people in their comment section, I was like, we need to find them, right? Are you following me? And this is not a slight to those people who are bringing this information forward. I'm just telling you about a theory that I think that is being stoked like in a fire, and these people may not be aware of it because they're not aware of gang stalking. Okay, so these people send these Karen videos to major platforms, these movers and shakers on these social media streets, and their followers and their whoever, they're in the comment section, fine honey, like the next day. And now they getting so doggone good, it might be 30 minutes. It might be 30 minutes, and after the trumpet has been sound and the video has been dropped, and it's like find them, and they find them. They find their social media accounts, all accounts. They find their addresses. Um, they find out where they work at. Right? They find all these. These are the people. They're the fan base, the followers who are finding out this information, and then they're running it back to the people on these larger platforms, right? And they're coming back in with a follow-up report. Well, we found them, and I know you guys have seen high current comments. So I know you guys have seen them, seen those type of videos. And so I'm watching them, and some of these people, they're very ugly, and then you be thinking, oh yeah, they need to be exposed, right? For their ugliness, and once they're exposed, their whole story changed. I'm so sorry. I've never acted like that before. I don't know what came over me, and that's because now the whole world basically knows, and your employer knows, and half of them are oops, hold on. Sorry about that. And half of them are getting, fired from their jobs. So when I sat back and I thought about that, I'm like, this basically can be another outlet, unbeknownst to, and maybe known to the host of, or the creator or the influencer, that these are tactics that are used in gang stalking, right? Um, Karen's is a psycho. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, their issues are definitely coming to the forefront. Um, but I was thinking, I was like, wow, this to me, how fast the turnaround is from these people finding out the information regarding a total stranger, and then bringing it back to social media. And then you have, these other people, calling their jobs or their employment or whatever, harassing them at work, I mean, at home, whatever however they do it. That is another form of gang stalking, I believe. And it just looks like it to me. And I was like, you know what? That can be very, very dangerous. And I don't know if people are aware of that. I know they want justice, but, some people, not all. Now, I'm not saying all the people who are trying to help get justice for whomever that was disrespected within the video at that time doesn't need justice, because they know that most likely, especially if they're African American, formerly known as African American, Black people, they won't get the justice that they truly deserve, right? Um, but on the other hand, you have people that those persons that that have these platforms, they can't regulate the behavior of all of their followers. They can't regulate the mind, the thinking, because see that that influencer has most likely moved on, but you may have like rogue police, let's say, followers like that, like rogue police that continue and take things to a different level. Um, and it all started with a Karen video, with a Karen exposed videos. And trust me, these Karens, their behavior is truly out of control. And so, what people getting fired for calling people Karens at work. Now that's funny. That's a name. Now I believe that statement because it was a video that I saw where a Karen, she was actually in her Karen mode, energy and all, her Karen energy, and she was upset. She said, "Well, you calling me a Karen is like me calling you the N word with a hard R. It's the same. It's um, I'm being discriminated against." And I looked at that video and I said, "Now see, she done went too far." She has gone, she done went and she done bumped her head somewhere. So this right here, people getting fired for calling people Karens, the people that are firing them need to be fired. That's what I think about that. The people who are firing people for calling somebody a Karen needs to be fired, because Karen is just a word, a name, a birth name, a birth name that people give to their children. Now, if a certain particular so-called race of people have had that name and acted out in that way, and that's why that name was adopted for that behavior, that is not discrimination. That is the behavior that you're displaying with a birth name that millions of people have. Nobody is birthed with the name Ninja or Ninja. Nobody, if you know what I mean, if you read between the lines. Nobody. None of my ancestors were birthed. They had children, and they called their children ninjas. That's their name. That's two different animals. You see, but don't have me go down that rabbit hole. Don't have me go down that one. So that's just what I wanted to talk about regarding, a theory I have with the mindset. Basically, that's what I'm talking about. How I believe the mindset is being molded more and more to not see or to not understand the damage that these people are doing regarding people's lives. And I'm talking about gang stalking, but I wanted to tie in how these Karens are being exposed on social media through these major platforms, and those platform followers are the ones that are digging up the information and distributing it on social media and groups and chats and texts. And that to me is how another avenue of how gang stalking works. And these people, they're not Gen Xers. We're a different breed of people, right? These younger people are they were born in the technology age, right? So I feel that they do not see tracking down people as a problem. Like they do not see that that's um, to me, and this is my opinion, borderline on a mental health problem. Um, because you're allowing uh, just deviancy to creep in and making that deviant action that your friends, your peers, your group of people that you're hanging around a norm, making it normal. It's almost like we were talking about earlier with the transgender people. They want to make it a norm for the word woman to no longer exist, and they've already made it a norm for them to um, be called pronouns instead of words that we know that were established in the dictionary. Although we know that the American language is a bastardized language, but nevertheless, we've been using this bastard language for over 500 years, right? Um, and uh, but they're changing. They're wanting to redesign what a woman is. And so, but that is also, I feel, dealing with mental disorder. But those are terms that doctors would use. I say it's spiritual, it's lascivious, it is wanting to control people, and um, with the agenda that they want people to fall in line with. And that's with the transgender, and that is with the I brought up the gang stalking theory about the Karens, and then the people who are hunting down these Karens. Well, they may in their minds think that have become like these mighty heroes that police the the social media networks, airwaves, but lasciviousness has crept in, and I believe they will start to enjoy their 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 hmm, their own secret society, if you will. They, like I said, their children stuck at a certain age development in their mind as well. They have in those groups that these large platform influencers don't know. They can't know. They can have millions of followers. They can't know the psychological. They haven't did a psychological evaluation over millions of people that they will never see, only through these devices, right? So these people may be loopers, stuck, you know. What is that? Your light is shining. I notice everyone who gets GameStop gets the light. Oh, oh, thank you. Um, you know, game stalking it's evil because it has taken so many people's lives, and I don't know if the people who engage in this gang stalking know that it has taken people's lives, and they're in, and they don't care because It's almost like that little girl, that 12-year-old who stabbed her brother. You know, when I told you I listened to the words that were coming out of her mouth, and she also said, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. To me, that meant she blacked out or an entity took over. This is what I feel. And then she said, I didn't mean for it to go this far this time. And you see, that means she engaged in activities that weren't becoming of a sister to a younger brother. And I think that gang stalkers are engaging in activities that they feel that it's okay for me to go and gather video footage and send it back to whoever wants to see where this person is at this particular time, or take pictures, or you know um, cause noise campaigns, or whatever the case may be. And for the people who have taken their lives, that may have been one of the last draws for them, especially in the early years of gang stalking, when a lot of us did not know what it was. Um, it is such a sadistic campaign. And when you awake to, first of all, target individuals, I believe were the first to have woken up. Whether you be black, white, Spanish, Mexican, Edomite, Jake, all of the biblical correct nations of names, Moabites, whether you be Hamites, black, white, African, if you're a targeted individual, and the government and everyday citizens who are not even affiliated with the government are stalking you, are watching you, have planted cameras in your homes, and they think it's quite funny to watch you and you not be aware of their presence. Um, they think that's funny. Now, whether they be demonically possessed and taken over, or whether they are on the road, fast tracking to being taken over by these spirits, because they're working in a realm of darkness. Whether any of that is the case, target individuals are the first to have awoken, because they are the first to realize that their society, that the world in and of itself is not real to how we were programmed to believe that it was. And um, and some of us have been or have are targeting at different levels. Um, some of you guys may not have. It may not be have been a spiritual journey as well. Regarding your targeting, may just be on a physical aspect, um, and that's something totally different. But the people who are targeting you are working through darkness, and that is, in my opinion, still spiritual. And some of them um, they are like taken. They're in the gateway of their of being a perk, right? Like people who, when I was growing up, we were taught about gateway drugs. Those small drugs that you take, and it opens doors to the larger drugs, the stronger drugs. Open those doors, which means allows different entities into your mind. But targeted individuals, I believe, were the first. Whether you believe in the Most High or not, I believe you were the first to wake up to the fact this world is not what we were told it was. So I'm over it. They want your reaction. I give them no reaction. Workplace harassment and honeypots are my weakness, but getting that under control. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, they want your reaction, and they'll get a reaction if you're just waking up to targeting, just like they got all of our reactions. But let me say this too: if you're a targeted individual, how did you find out that you were targeted? Um, that is another thing that is very interesting to me because I knew nothing about being a targeted individual. I knew nothing about covert operations of military, CIA, FBI. I knew nothing. I did the police. I knew nothing about that. I knew of corrupt people in the world, and I knew of corrupt individuals in the police force in all aspects of life, but not a program that would tamper with even your medical records. You couldn't go anywhere for help because everyone was in on it. That is a shock to the system that will cause a reaction. And some people, the reaction was so severe that they took their own lives. Okay. But how did we find out about targeting? What to say? I was on the news and they came for me so hard. You on the news? No, how did you find out about it though? Did you find out about it from the news? And if you found out about it from any news report on TV, then you must just have woken up not too long ago. Because I'm talking about when there was nothing being talked about on any news channel. How did you find out if there's anybody else who found out? Because I believe this is deeper than the most would say. Because I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know anything about these covert operations. It's a psychological um, operation for the military and um, the CIA and FBI, and to see how you're going to react and, as well, right? We know that because they've always used the population for their sadistic failed operations, their testing. That's where they're live guinea pigs. We have not signed any waivers to be a part of any social experiments or testing, right? Um, None of us was even given the opportunity to say if we wanted to be a part of this program of testing psychological fortitude. Okay, um, we weren't even offered a paycheck like some of those testing that you have made seen on billboards. Come to the college of crazy folks so we can pump you with all these chemicals and see what happens to you. We'll pay you $50. You know, you weren't even offered not even compensation for the traumas that they wanted to invoke in you, right? No, you weren't. But that has been part of our government's MO. And but yet and still, how did we find out? I can say this. Just like when you, as a target individual, as you know, a chosen one, because it's two different things and it might be both. uh, I believe they led you onto any platform that you were already, signed up for, whether you had a Facebook, um, or whether you watched YouTube and you didn't have a YouTube account. Some of you just have accounts that you created just to watch YouTube, right? I believe it's all a cycle that they created, and they led you here onto certain platforms because think about this. Just like they have the capability of reading mind waves when you're asleep, when we are looking at these devices, um, reading your mind, like so many people have said, even in church, nobody can read your mind. They're reading your brain waves, right? Um, so you may think, oh gosh, I want some chocolate, but you didn't say it out loud, right? You might have thought about it in your head. And so that you being the guinea pig of your government, unbeknownst to you, you're sitting back at home thinking about chocolate. I might go get chocolate later. That thought comes across your head. And so you're watching TV, and in a particular Kit Kats. You want to go get some Kit Kats later. And then on TV, commercial comes on, Kit Kats. You're like, dang, I just thought about Kit Kats. You being as a targeted individual, something is different. And you're like, okay. And that's also part of the program, the psychological ops that they're doing, their studies. So you see Kit Kat commercial come on the TV. Okay. Then you go somewhere, you're like, gosh, I gotta go pick up my cleaning, and I don't want to go to the cleaners, and it's gonna be a long line. Oh, but you're in the grocery store, and then you hear, you know, directed conversation. Now, this also, in my opinion, works both ways, because whether you believe it or not, your government works with entities. They work with demonic entities. Okay? Whether they reading your brain waves through your device that you have in your car, your mobile phone, or on the TV, or your computer, or if you're saying it out loud in your empty home, I got to go to the cleaners and I don't want to, verbally. Monitoring spirits in uh, monitoring spirits unbodied, they have no body, physical body in this realm, are amongst you, wherever you are right now, are relaying these messages to whomever the government, their task force, and it'll come out sooner or later, trust me. It'll come out sooner or later, just like their remote viewing program came out, right? They've always tapped into these type of powers, higher powers that they shouldn't be tapping into. But anyway, you think of these things, you say these things, and then somebody comes and have a conversation right beside you, and they're mentioning what you just thought about. Oh, girl, I gotta go, and they talking loud too. They not. I'm not even talking about people who talk loud on their cell phones when have their cell phone on speaker. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about two individuals talking about a conversation, having a conversation about something you thought about. That can either have been relayed through the government ops program, relaying it to them through via their text messages, or monitoring spirits, and their spirits are inhabiting them, and they're going back and forth with the conversation that you just had, or not even the conversation, your thoughts that you just had out loud, verbally or mentally, right? How did we find out? How did a lot of people find out about gang stalking? You see, gang stalking is like a slang word, but it's a covert operation, and there's so many so-called proper terminologies to uh, refer to this program. Well, I found out about it via YouTube with individuals like Wayne. What's his name? It was a white guy. I hardly see these people on these platforms, but I found out through his name was Wayne. I want to say Dan. No, it wasn't him. I think that was a black guy. But this guy that I listened to, it was a white guy. Okay, and he helped out a lot. And then it was other people, and they were more on. They weren't like more of the common people that you would see, like you and I, right? These people, Wayne, he used to be affiliated with, his parents were in Hollywood, and he was a Hollywood child. And then other people that I listened to on the platforms, they were like scientists and doctors. I don't see these people anymore on these platforms. And then it started trickling down to more common people speaking, and then I started hearing of the terminology of gang stalking. But before, the people who I listened to, they used different vernacular, different words to express what this program were, and they were using words such as covert operations, so on and so forth, military ops, and things of that nature. And when I was listening to these people, they were saying, to try to use the proper terminology for what is going on, because if you go to court, the courts would not understand gang stalking, because they don't have that type of vernacular in the court system. Of course not. They didn't have, I'm sure, covert operation regarding the psychological. Well, they may have, because they've been doing psychological covert operations on the American people for decades. So they may have had that terminology, but these people that I listened to were more on that level, right? And then I started, then more and more gang stalking videos started popping up. How did that happen? Was that part of the plan? Do you feel me? Do you understand where I'm coming from? If we think about a Kit Kat in our mind, and the Kit Kat shows up on the TV commercial, right? If we're going through this program, and you're thinking, what is this? What, things are changing, stuff been moved in my house, blah blah blah, and then videos. These videos came to you. I would suggest, and this is just my thoughts, I suggest that you didn't find gang stalking videos. Those gang stalking videos found you via the covert operation that you have been placed in. That's my thoughts. Um, Whether you were on YouTube, just whatever you previously liked to watch prior to understanding that you were in place in this program. Well, these videos probably came into your suggested feeds. And the wording, trust me, probably was something that caught your attention to um, make you click on the video. You know, help, somebody's following me. These people are, there is something, something to make you, to intrigue you to click on the video. And that took you down this deep, deep rabbit hole that we are in. And that's where then all types of gang stalking videos started to come into your algorithm. That's just my thoughts, because I can't understand how I would have searched for gang stalking videos and I knew nothing about gang stalking, which I'm sure a lot, of target individuals knew nothing about the terminology gang stalking. And the reason why I use gang stalking is because just like slang words have come into mainstream vernacular when we talk, gang stalking is becoming more and more prevalent. And whether we go to court or not, they will understand what the meaning of gang stalking is. Okay? Um, but before, I do recall trying to use, this is a covert operation because I wanted to be precise. But my testimony, just like a lot of chosen ones and target individuals' testimony, will be revealed. And I believe a lot of us will be made whole. Um, and those are words is if you went to court, how can we make you whole again? Well, you can't bring back lost times. That's making you whole again is financial. Um, or, yeah, how can we make it right for you? Well, we don't know the people who have come in and out of our lives, right? Um, who have been the stalkers, the perps, so on and so forth. We don't know those people, so we can't hold them accountable. Only people that you may know are family members, but they can't hold the burden of everybody who has come into your life, whether they thought it was a game, a Pokemon, you know, or whether they were a sadistic um, and that was their mindset, or whether they were totally taken over by demonic spirit. But I say to you, stand squarely on your block, on your square, as they say, right? Because just like the world has been shaken up with different revelations that have been revealed to mainstream, what we would call mainstream as target individuals, to those who are still in their slumber. Um, and the loopers will, some of those will never come out, but will be made aware of their deeds. Stand firm because it's going to come out. It is going to be revealed. Um, the FBI, the CIA, they can't hide behind those letters for much longer. And people are coming out of those organizations because all organizations are corrupt, like I explained to you all. There is not one corporation, one job that you hold in this matrix that is wholesome, because you are in a demonic realm right now that is being ran by demonic entities or people who are allowing demonic entities to guide them. That is what's going on right now. So I think that is why, or how, a lot of you guys woke up. Woke up to the fact that this is called gang stalking. This is a covert operations via your, uh, you know, they're gathering intel. And they want to know, because quiet as it is truly kept, quiet as it is truly kept, there are those of you out there who they're looking for, who they're searching for. Just like when when there was a decree, right? There was a decree made because somebody was born that was in this world, right? But was not a part of this world. And there are some of you guys out there, target individuals, chosen ones, who are in this world, but you're not a part of this world. You hear people talk about that. You hear people talk about that, and I guess when you hear of it now, it's so new world, new, like a, what is it called? New age. Now they're trying to get you used to the understanding the fact that there are extraterrestrial entities around, right? Or coming, right? But if you're able to understand that Yahushua is considered an extraterrestrial entity, deity, or whatever you want to call it, he's not of this planet, but he was in this planet, right? He even told you there are entities, there are heavenly hosts here, and you are not aware of them. ETs that are amongst you, but they are heavenly hosts. But a lot of people say star seeds and, you know, what are the other terminologies? Your higher self is watching you. You know, it's other terms, but this was written about also. Now, and I understand, trust and believe, from me just being mind blown with so much information that is coming out that I have to step away sometimes from listening to different information because I know that the Bible, that people, some loopers only want to think exist in that one binder, you know, that you can go get at the store. That one, you know, King James version. That's it. That's it. That's all. And they don't want to believe that it can be or has been manipulated. Everything is in order when it's not, you see. And those are the type of people who need to be loopers, you see. And even some people who have awakened somewhat. And I'm not talking about targeted individuals. Hey, Sergio, how you doing? And I'm gonna get to the other. I just saw his. Yes, yes, indeed. Um, have waken up, and I'm not talking about targeted individuals. The shock of pulling out the pipes, the cords, like Neo, right? I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about some people who have woken up via their religious beliefs, because that there was an awakening coming in this time. can these dry bones live? Some of those people are on a loop. They are only capable of waking up to a certain point to realize that they've woken up to understand who they are as a people, right? But they can't comprehend. And I don't think that they want to comprehend that, even if, they go into the Apocrypha. They'll agree, yes, the Apocrypha is part of the Bible. But in my opinion, won't go further than that, understanding that there's so many ancient scrolls that are not that were predated by before some of even the words that are in the Bible, the words that the Catholic Church deemed to be part of the Chronicle. If I'm saying that right, probably saying it wrong, but words of the Most High. When so many more scriptures and texts that have been found predate a lot of what is in the Bible. And not only that, this depends on whether or not you are formerly known as a Black person, now known as Israel. I think they're going to get a shock as well. I think my formerly known Black folks, now known as Israel, I've heard many different awakening, I don't want to call them sermons, but what can I call it? Conversations. You will hear, well, we don't call him Jesus because Jay was not around in that time, in that era, so his name is Yahushua, and everybody's like, yeah, even catch this, even Donald Trump is like, y'all know y'all built all this. Hey, let me tell you, you on that red team politically, even Donald Trump, hey, Black folks, so-called Black folks, you know y'all built this. So you heard conversations about, the Jay wasn't around in this time frame, and well, if they go deeper than the Jay not being around, Moses' name was not even around. But these are conversations that I think they're not going to have, because they are loopers as well, in a sense. Because some names that are even in the text, known as the ones a lot of us have read, or the version a lot of us have read, the King James version. They have so many different versions of the Bible now, but a lot of people, that's one of their main versions, King James. And if you can't understand that, there's like other easy reading versions of the Bible. But that's why. And I used to hear, when I was coming up, No man can change the Bible because it's a divine revelation. Is divine words from the Most High, which is true. But man has manipulated the Bible. You see, and it was said not to take away or add to. They constructed the Bible in the way they wanted to construct the Bible. And I just feel that that is why you have so much confusion. But it was done on purpose. It was a psyops. Because if you go deeper, and I'm sure people will, just like they holler, the word J didn't exist. Man, was that a revelation for all of us? What? Huh? What'd you say? His name is not Jesus? His name is what? Yahushua? Wow. Well, imagine when they find out that Moses' name didn't exist. Imagine when they find out that Sarah is a term from Egypt, but it refers to a man's name. Oh, wait till they find out all of this. And this has nothing to do with studying just Egypt, because all of those names, quiet as it's kept, are not even their original names, right? We know Egypt was Kemet, and Kemet was the land of the blacks, but it's deeper than all that, because then all those continents were together. Imagine that. Imagine waking up, those that are loopers of the Bible, waking up to realize there's more to this picture that meets the eye. Imagine if we could just get some of those texts that are underneath the Vatican. But they're showing the world slowly but surely, right? Just like you were shaken up, flipped upside down with the reality of this world just by being a targeted individual. Wait till so many others wake up to so many levels of this. Well, some people call it assimilation. But it is something, and there is a reason why you are here. There is a reason why. I guess it was more of easy reading to hear Yahweh Shai saying, be careful, for you may be hosting angels unaware. That's easy to the ears, right? Other than, you know what? There's aliens here, and they're around you, and you might not even know it. No, people wouldn't believe that. It's easier to hear Yahweh Shai say, be careful how you treat people, for you may be hosting angels unaware. That you are not aware that these people are angels, right? These people that I believe may be hunted down as targeted individuals, are chosen ones who are targeted individuals. The blood might be of a, out of this world. How about that? How about them apples? And so, when that E.T. came down here known as Yahweh Shai, most of you guys know him as Jesus. He was the E.T., extraterrestrial being, came into this realm Well, there was a decree to hunt him down. Just like I feel that covert operation, well, it's not just they want to test to see if their energy weapons work. There was a decree. They're looking for that special, you know, bloodline. And they think they have it. They think you know, they close. So that's probably why, I mean, these are just thoughts that I have. You being watched so close. You may have extraterrestrial ancestors. You know? Let's see. Oh my goodness. Um, you're isolated every day, no female friends, deaf, real. What? For real? Um, you have any male friends? G? Do you have any male friends? I don't think a lot of target individuals, um, especially special ones, have many friends at all. You know, the Most High hides away awesome people for certain times in certain events. And you might think you're isolating yourself. That probably is part of your time clock that you may not even be aware of that was put into you, just like you were asleep and you woke up because it was time for you to get up at this particular time in life, right? Well, it might be another setting within yourself that you didn't place there. It came from maybe your ET family members, a time clock to make you think that you should isolate yourself, but that was pre-programmed into you because you will awaken again, probably mightier than you went to sleep under that isolation time clock. Holla. Okay? That's probably what that is about. In this day and time, you gotta be careful. I'm not saying don't talk to people. I'm not saying, don't interact with people. And it's part of our nature. Whether you be male and you're interested in females, to want to have that type of companionship or vice versa. So that's natural. But it might be a reason why that's not happening for you. Because, honey, y'all done heard about my honeypot adventures. Y'all have heard about my honeypot adventures. And it's just, even when if I try to talk to somebody, it's still something. And I think it's my discernment that I can't shake. I can't shake. It's just like if I get the slightest alarm that goes off regarding my discernment for somebody, they will understand it. Whether it be no communication at all from me, um, or very few words if I do communicate with the opposite sex, right? You have to just pay attention because that's vital. is vital at this day, as you know, this late time. Let me see. Where did I go? Gosh, I think oh. And I'm gonna bind all of that, wrap it up, and throw it out. You know, that. I think those are words that the program has had people recycle. You know, we've heard of spells, right? Word spells. All of that right here, what the program is designed to do, is a lie. And I bind it in the name of Yahweh Shai because it's a lie. Um, when you understand you are mightier than those word spells, you are mightier than what you think they want you to do because you're still here. You're still here. And if it's somebody who has sinister thoughts and plans against you, you're still infuriating them because you're still here. Whether you've gone through any of that or not, you're still here. And that, my friend, is what really pisses them off. And trust this, if you're able to laugh and enjoy yourself and you have nothing, oh my goodness. Oh, how can they be so happy? What is one thing that Satan wants to take? I think if I can recall, I've never heard him really wanting to, you know, we know about Job and all that, right? Let me see. Yes, we know about Job because, you know, we've heard the term Satan is like a roaring lion seeking who he can devour, right? But I think the most thing that Satan wants to devour, um, what he savors, is devouring or trying to take your joy. You see, joy doesn't come with money; it comes with no physical luxury that you may find as a luxury. That's not where joy comes from. Joy, it comes from the Most High. It is within you. It is within you. So yeah, if he can get you to take yourself out, then he's taken everything, your hope, your joy, right? But it's not these material things. You see, you are definitely going to see people who have run this rat race because that's what it is. When you think about it, gosh, we all have played their game. And when you wake up and realize what a crummy deal you got yourself into being part of this rat race, to wake up, rush to get dressed, rush to eat your breakfast, rush to be maybe in an office for 8 to 12 hours, maybe on the line in the oil fields for 16 hours at a time. Come home, take a shower, eat a little bit, watch some TV, and repeat the cycle like you are a hamster on a hamster wheel. And outside, what them kids say, them young folks, we outside. the sun is shining, which feeds your body, mind, and soul. The electrolytes are beaming, and you haven't run across the grass and God knows when barefoot. Yeah, outside, you can get air. Outside, you can run, you can walk, you can build your body up instead of sitting and standing and looping around on a Ferris wheel like a hamster to make money. And get this, the hustle is real. This rat race is real. To get money, and they con you and say, we're going to take taxes from the money that we pay you. We're going to take taxes, but we're going to give you Social Security, so you're working for when you get older and you get broke down and you can't work no more. Because we're going to work you until you're about 70, and we might raise that until you're about 80. So, because we only want to give you about 1 or 2 years to live. And if you're a man, you can hang it up because your cycle of life is much shorter than women. So, yeah, we probably, give you to about 70 to run this rat race. And then we'll give you Social Security, but we're going to take that a little bit of that out of your check, but then at the end of the year, you got to file your taxes. Yeah. And you're probably going to have to pay us back your money that you sat in that office and you sat on that line and worked for. And then you're here at 2023. And they tell you, well, we're at a debt ceiling, my people, my peeps. And tomorrow, June 1st, some things are going to change. We don't know if we're going to be able to meet that debt ceiling. We've, printed out fake money. And, we can continue to print out fake money, but we want to let you know that we don't want to print out fake money, but not actually that. We just want to call it a debt ceiling. And we want you to continue to work, but we got to figure out a way to make you work harder, but control every dime that you have. Oh, wait, you didn't hear that from me, but wait a minute. And on top of that, gosh, I know a lot of you have worked until you were 65 years old. I know. But those baby boomers, they damn near ate up all of the Social Security. So if you were born in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 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 oh, that's a joke. But if you were born in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, yeah, we won't have any Social Securities for you, because the baby boomers, they did it. They ate up all of your Social Security. How is that, you may ask, if you are wise, when that was their money that they worked for during their time? Shouldn't that have been their money, not ours? Half of us wasn't born 90s babies, 2000 babies. Oh, don't ask us any hard questions. Just know that you don't have any money. So continue to work, break your body down, whether you be in the field, whether you be standing flipping burgers, or whether you be sitting in an office and getting all that, fake lighting. Don't ask any questions. Just stay inside and work. And we might do like with our fellow brethren in Paris, we have done and raised, retirement age. Don't yell at me. That's what's going on. That is your government. Don't yell at me. Just continue to work, and we're gonna raise the retirement. So work harder, stay longer, and don't have any funds to live off of. So, but we might take up Dr. Kevorkian's plan. You know how I think a while back it was a doctor who said he would assist in suicide, and go ahead and knock yourself out. I mean, you won't have any quality of life after we've worked and drained all of your fake money. to make us rich and you poor, and you work our fields. Yeah, you work our fields. Oh man, the fields. Who's gonna work the fields? Because you got your brother man, the other man over in Florida, talking about immigrants gonna catch a case. Immigrants gonna catch a case, a federal case. The feds is gonna come for the immigrants that is in the field picking all your fruits and vegetables in the hot sun. You know, they got that melon, they can hang out in the hot sun. Yes, sir. You wasn't paying them, never see you didn't want to pay them folks. Mm-hmm. You done lost construction workers. You didn't want to pay them. Now you're talking they can catch a case. Oh, Florida's that's just the tip of the iceberg. Mm. Other folks that went out there and realized how hard that work is. They quit after 1 hour. Oh yeah, I'm going home. I'm gonna take a break, and then come back. This is in Florida. I know y'all heard about it. They shut it down, thinking that they're helping other people. You know, people that kept yelling, "There's no jobs out here for us." All the immigrant people are taking the jobs that nobody else wanted. But now you don't even want them to have those jobs. So now, hey, if you like fresh fruits and vegetables, you better eat as much as you can now, because ain't nobody in the fields picking it out there in Florida. So wherever you at, wherever they done ship from Florida, what is Florida known for? What is Florida's fruit? What is their national fruit? Does anybody know? Is it oranges? No. Is Florida oranges? Can't think. Okay. Georgia is a Georgia peach. What is Florida's national fruit? Yeah. Okay. Florida. Ain't nothing popped. Okay. Yeah. Y'all think about it. Y'all ain't no orange juice. Tropicana. You like your Tropicana in the morning before you took your doggone down to the work farm. Ain't no Tropicana gonna be this winter. Oh Lord, ain't no Tropicana for you. Your vitamin C, well, you ain't getting it out of Florida, baby. And California ain't no better. I think California might give you a couple of oranges. California flooded out. Y'all remember that, right? Did y'all forget that? Oh, I hope not. Yeah. So there's not gonna be no oranges around. What else they do make with oranges? Let me think. No creamsicles. Shoot, just your regular orange to peel. Hey, there ain't gonna be no oranges around. All right? Hey, it's just not gonna be none. And if you get an orange, I mean, you say, hey, you're probably gonna be paying $20 for that doggone orange. Just one. One orange, $20. Hey, look here. Let me get a coat. Hey, psst, psst, psst. I got this orange. I got this orange right here. Come meet me around the corner. That's what y'all gonna be doing for them oranges, okay? And fruits and vegetables. All the potato crop is rotting in the field as we speak. Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes. Yeah, the holidays coming up. Black folk who don't eat no pumpkin pie. You ain't gonna have to worry. You gonna learn to switch. Because ain't no sweet potato pie gonna be on y'all Thanksgiving table, Christmas dinner table. Because all the potatoes is rotting in the field right now. What else did I see they was picking out there on them doggone? I'm sorry, white folks. They say y'all couldn't hang out there for more than 2-3 hours. Y'all was out of there. Y'all was like, deuces, I'm out. Hey, get somebody else to do it. That's what y'all said. Get somebody else. It's hot out here. This work hard. Shoot, y'all was out. So they up a creek without a paddle. Florida up the creek without a doggone paddle. And not just Florida, us. People don't realize they still watching. What sport? What is this? This is summertime is here. What is it? Basketball season? I'm not a sports person. I think it's basketball season or baseball season. Which one? One of those two sports on. Y'all probably you got your head go deep into them sports, not realizing what's coming around the corner. Tomorrow, has anybody heard anything on the news thus far on social media? The first, that's when the Secretary of Commerce, whatever her name is, said the 1st of June, trouble. If it's not the 1st of June, it's the first week of June, y'all. Y'all be prepared. And then they rotting y'all food. Come on now. But then on top of that, they done made you weak. Your immune system is low because you're inside working for the man. Oh, Tina Turner died, y'all. Working for the man every night and day. But I 1 minute of sleeping, worried about the way things might have been. Y'all, come on, Big Wheel. Big wheel, keep on turning. That's what y'all doing. Proud Mary, keep on burning. And we're rolling. It's gonna be a mess. It's about to be a mess. Fruits and nuts and grains in California. But y'all forgot about that. Because basketball is on. Housewives of Atlanta is on. Y'all forgot about that. Y'all, because there's a little something in the stores right now. There's a little something, right? Yeah. Y'all forgot about that because your stomach full right now. Yeah. Sustainable. That word. I think I'm gonna make t-shirts. Sustainable. Do we understand what that means? It's not just the fact that you are able to grow vegetables in good soil. But I believe in order to be sustainable, you have to have a workforce that is sustainable, that you're gonna keep around, not give them trumped up Fed charges because they working in your hot summer sun for pennies on a dollar. Oh yeah. Oh, but wait a minute. Let's not forget about all them folks they letting in across the border. Are y'all ready? Them folks ain't just them ain't my Spanish speaking brothers and so them folks from all over. And they mostly male. And they fit. They thin, fit, muscle, what they call it, thin, the lean muscle mass on them. They got lean muscle mass. They're ready for action. Yes, indeed. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Y'all ready? And we're rolling. We worried about inflation. Hey, let me tell you something. I seen a picture of, I don't know where were they at? I want to say this picture was a picture I seen. That's part of it. That's part of it. That's why I say some. I don't know. I about the Bible. I don't even know if I can say the majority of it is correct, but quite a bit of it is correct from, the tampering and the manipulation of it. But when it in Revelation it says a day's work, a full day's work, wherever you are, how much you make an hour, however much you make in an hour, times that by eight or 8 hours, 16 hours, 12 hours, whatever your shift is, right? Let's just make it a basic. Say you get $100. I don't know. I'm just making it low. Don't come at me. Don't come at me. For that day, for your day of work. Say you make. Let's do 200. Let's do 200. Just how real this is getting. Let's do 200. You make 200 a day. $200 a day. That's your day's wages for however many hours you're scheduled to work. Revelation says a day's wages. That's how much you're going to be paying for a slice of bread. That don't hit hard. You know, it ain't hitting people. And a lot of people have never heard that before. A day's wages is going to be, that's how much a slice of bread. Can I get a what? Can I get my church's chicken? Matter of fact, that's what I was just about to say. My napkin. Can I get a piece of bread? A slice of bread. How much is it? $200. What you say? For just bread and no ketchup. Oh, you want ketchup? That's $85 a squirt. It ain't. It sounds like it's inflation. I know you should be worried about it. Because some people gonna starve, and some people don't see the ramifications of everything that's going on around them, and how it's said it in the word. A day's wages is gonna cost your behind. That whole day you done been on the treadmill, the hamster wheel. I mean, you've been on that hamster wheel. You've been rolling, working for the man every night and day. And all you can do is give your whole day's work to go home and eat that slice of bread. And that's not exaggerating. And you see, I want to say it was Canada, but it might not be Canada because I'm going to get that post and I'm going to post it up here. No, I don't think Church's Chicken ain't in Canada, is it? I don't think so. Wherever it was, it had to be United States because Church's Chicken is in the United States. This wasn't no AI generated. This was a factual. Because I'm going to tell you how I know it was factual. Because I'm going to tell you about the inflation here in Texas. They had on the windows. You know how Church's Chicken has the glass windows and they put their advertisement on the windows. The chicken, they got the chicken looking all juicy. The butter biscuits, making your mouth water. A family box of chicken. 8 pieces. $60 from Line and Blind. 8 pieces of chicken. $60. Then the 20 piece more, $80. I said, I know you lying. I know you lied. I said, well, churches is like, I ain't gonna lie, that was like one of my favorite. And a lot of people didn't like because they felt it was a little too greasy for them or whatever. But I don't like no dry, if I do eat meat. I don't like no dry meat. I don't like no breast. I like dark meat, like me. I'm dark, okay? So I like the dark meat. $80, $60. Come on now. So the other day, y'all seen the little brown napkin. Y'all know what this napkin come from. Where's the camera at? This napkin, this is a Church Chicken napkin. I'm out and about. I said, I'm hungry. I'm looking at Church Chicken. I'm like, I don't want to eat this. I have this thing, y'all. Y'all, I know y'all can say. Now, I purposely have been trying to lose weight. And I had this theory in my mind about losing weight, trying to eat one meal a day. But I did it on purpose because I got assistance with losing weight. So I did it on purpose, right? Trying to get my body regulated for what's to come. Because a lot of y'all think it's a game. A lot of y'all think, and let me take this down because I ain't fussing at you. I'm just talking. A lot of y'all think it's a game. So I've been trying to regulate my body to one meal a day. But on this particular day, I said, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm tired of running around playing with these stalkers today. I don't play with them enough. They over here watching me anyway from Church's Chicken. So let me go and get in line and see what's popping over here. See what I can get. I don't want to eat this. Guys, we don't even know what the food is anymore. I'm trying to tell you. I said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give me a two-piece. And, but in my mind's eye, I recall a two-piece. I know. I recall a two-piece chicken dinner, biscuit and chicken being what? The most, maybe, I don't know, $3, right? $3 and some change, a two-piece. Does anybody remember a two-piece? A two-piece. Not check it. I haven't eaten Church's. I know. Did you say a mistake? I know. You was like, I know it was a mistake. I know. But I'm human. I try to make mistakes that don't consequent going to hell for. I don't think I would go to hell for eating a two-piece. But I chose that I was going to get a two-piece that day. Because it was, cost effective. I'm not trying to eat a lot of this fake meat, this hybrid meat, this clone meat, all the above. I pull up to the line, to the doggone, talking to the machine to order my food. And I look on the doggone menu. I see a two-piece chicken with a biscuit for $8.99. Now I know y'all probably be like, what? That's not, no, my friend. A two-piece chicken dinner was $3 and some change at Church's. And this wasn't like back in the day. This was like a year, maybe. The first of this year, I didn't really eat. I can't recall eating. Last year, I might have ate a few because y'all know I was a vegetarian for a long time. I still consider myself a vegetarian, but but when I'm blaming on Passover, when Passover come through and I had to eat that doggone lamb, and that lamb make you be like, ooh, that meat was so good. So, yeah. I can't remember if it was last year. I don't know when a two-piece went up to $8. So that was a $9 meal for two pieces of chicken. Because you gotta add taxes on. I don't know how taxes work in any other state, but we have sales tax. Okay, some states I don't think have sales tax. I think it's already incorporated into your price. I don't know. Here we have sales tax. So you see the price on the screen, $8.99. That's not the full price because you got to add that $1, $2 something sales tax onto that. So you're paying $9 and some change for two pieces of chicken. Have you bumped your head? So when I seen that picture of $60 for a bucket of chicken for the lower chicken count and $80, people ain't gonna know how to act. Going to a fast food restaurant is almost close to going to a mid let's say 2.5-star restaurant, right? Not 5-star, maybe 2.5-star. You know, a nice little restaurant and a little hotel, nice little hotel. Not no 5-star. I'm not talking about the Ritz. You know, but a nice little. I can't even imagine how much to go to a very posh restaurant will run people nowadays. You know, depending on what you're gonna order, like some caviar, some beluga caviar. But you know, you down for that? You know, that was up in the hundreds as it was. Good Lord. But anyway, people not ready for inflation. They have complained about it. You know, but see, the thing is, they complained about it, but it's just a lot of hot air. It's a lot of hot air coming out of their mouths. Yeah. When you when we see what's going to happen after tomorrow, June. What time? Oh shoot! It's I don't know where you at, but where I'm at it's 12:11. So it happy June to you. Happy June to all the people who are June people. You know, happy June. It's June, y'all. Oh Lord, we about to see what's coming down the pike. Yes, indeed. I don't know if it's gonna happen today, but within the what is this? Wednesday, Thursday? Is today Thursday? Don't tell me up at the whatever happens this week. Uh, be strong. Whatever announcement they make, and I truly believe my target individuals, my chosen ones, I believe y'all are already strong people because you've been through adversities, and thank God for the training that you have gone through. Right, yes, right. Even Black folks and Hispanic folks and folks that have been on the lower totem pole, your time has come. And let me tell you something. I ain't gonna forget about who was that? Was that where? This is where it's at. Talking about the trailer people, which most people associate that with lower poverty white folk. Your time's come too, because you're a survivor. Okay. I think we all need to sing that song, Destiny's Child. I'm a survivor. You about to see who's weak in all aspects. Who's weak mentally, because when that money actually is taken from them and redistributed in the form of digital currency, and it's not the value that they thought they had, it's not there, or if people totally lose it all, like I don't know who that was. That this is where it's at. Say that about losing it all. Uh, they're not gonna know how to handle it, y'all. You will see mass suicide. You will see you're just gonna see some things. So just be prepared for it. And you know, and start training yourselves. It's not a game. It's not a game. Start training yourselves for foods you will not be able to afford or you will not see again. Okay? Prepare yourselves for that. For a doggone hamburger to be damn near $100. And I'm not exaggerating. I am totally not exaggerating. Prepare yourself for the anarchy, okay, that is going to ensue, along with the added bonus of your government. Um, you know, and they got the Underground Railroad happening right about now to aid in the anarchy. To see the people that are coming, they already think that you're spoiled Americans, and they want the land of the free and the home of the brave for themselves. And but you know what? They are they're fooled. They've been hoodwinked too. Okay, I just want to put that out there. They have been hoodwinked, just like those perps, just like the gang stalkers have been hoodwinked, thinking they are part of something, thinking that these people gonna hold them down. It's gonna be the fine with the, how do they say it? Finest of the fit. How do they say it, baby? It's gonna for each they own. Okay, and let me tell you something. Them whomever is paying these gang stalkers, who's ever funding the ones that are getting the do re mi, the currency. Do, do they realize that they're not going to be priority? Let me tell you something. We are under siege. Okay, we are under siege. It doesn't look like the sieges of yesteryears of battles. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Survival of the fittest. That's what it's about to be. Survival of the fittest. And let me tell you, you chosen ones. You targeted individuals, honey. Y'all have already look. If this you're in the army now, bum, 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 you'll never be rich. You'll always be poor. You are in the army of target individuals. Okay, okay. Because some of y'all been out here huffing and puffing already. Shoot, I had a job and was still huffing and puffing. It ain't, and I told y'all about me. I wasn't fronting on nobody's front street. Y'all heard me complain, and I was working and still complaining. Okay? I wouldn't never try to be no one like those social media influencers. Oh, look, I'm balling, renting cars. No, baby, this is real out here. This is real. And I hope you heard me when I told you it was real out here in these streets. Uh, and I told you, I'm glad I was raised the way I was raised. I ain't never been um, like dirt poor. But let me tell you one thing. I met people who have been their living and arrangements and everything has been lower than mine, and I learned from them. And I know you've learned from other people. And it's how you treated people too that has granted you grace. Woo! It's how you target individuals. You chosen ones that have treated other people that have granted you grace. You see. And so while these people think about their capitalism and their materialism and their gains that are getting ready to flip upside down, um, yeah, they're not going to know how to cope, but you will. All I'm saying is if you haven't gotten your mindset to understand to be more minimalist as far as your eating habits and understanding what is more important, if you can get your hands on, when the shit really hits the fan. I have to say it just like that. I'm sorry. There's no other way. When it really hits the fan, what I need you to be doing right now is uh, Googling and YouTubing how to eat the weeds, how to learn. I mean, this is when it's dire. I'm talking about, I need you to learn from, I'm right here right now. I'm good. I right now, you may be able to still eat steak if that's your thing. Okay? If that's what makes your boat float. You may be good to eat steak. And I know some people you've heard, oh, don't have a poverty mindset. I can't be around people who they have poverty mindset. So, it just won't, we can't mesh because you have a poverty mindset. Manifest. I'm not saying don't think positive. I'm not saying don't think about manifest, claim, name, and claim your vision, you know, what I'm telling you is to think as a realist, to understand what's going on around you, to understand, okay, I'm rich because you rich, especially if you know you Israel. You already know you rich. My riches is not here, baby. You can touch all this. You can touch it all. You can't touch what I got. You can't. It ain't no way. Ain't no way. Understand that already. But as somebody who should have some wisdom to them, understand everybody always has a plan B. Hopefully, C, D, whatever. If it's possible, understand how I'm eating steak right now, a little butter roll, some a little side salad, you know, whatever you like. You right there right now. I'm talking about what's going on in society and being able to maneuver throughout the changes that are getting ready to happen. The changes people here, uh, you guys, I taught children, and their attention span was short, and now they say adults in 2023 attention span is like a goldfish. It's minute. You heard about California and their flooding and their vegetables going kaput, whatever they were growing, in the whatever valleys they were growing it in. Your wine gonna be nasty. If you drink wine, your beer ain't gonna have no hops. You're just gonna have just flat beer. You know how to maneuver when uh, your president thought he had the muscle. He thought he had the might of the almighty dollar bill. Well, that's how Star Trek, when people say your stuff is futile, the Borg can't fight this. So he has no the fiat dollar has no power. It has no muscle. Can y'all see my muscle? I ain't got no muscle either. I just got chunky arms. Let me push it up, make it some muscles. The fiat dollar ain't got no power. So embargoes and sanctions and all that, them folks overseas where other fruits and grains was coming from don't care. The only people they got as a friend right now is Ukraine, and they only trying to make them buddies because half of them still trying. While they bringing folks over here, a lot of them going over there. Okay, and the other half going underground. But you ain't heard that from me. So you ain't getting all these grains and nuts and berries from out of Japan, China, wherever. All you pretty much about to not have cars, not have all them electronic gadgets that you like. I doubt if the iPhone 2045 even come out. You know what I'm saying? Because your gadgets came from China. But anyway, I digress. I was saying, know if the meat is gone. Can you what else can you substitute that you would like, that you would be able to afford? Know how if things went totally downhill to where bread cost you $200 a slice. What would you do? Now, I mean, all jobs are collapsing. I know people on here giggled because I got fired. I got laid off. Whatever, however you want to term. People who with pride. I got laid off. Shoot, they letting people go left and right. CEOs. What is it? Last hired, first fired. Job mob, and I told y'all about my job mobbing way before all this even trickled down, and that was just the icing on the cake, honey. Right? This stuff is about to hit the fan. Do you know the Bible told you the herbs heal the nation? Mm-hmm. This government is so wicked. It has people fooled to think that they got their back, and they running around here trying to get close to you, take your picture, take your video, um, be in your presence, and they think that they're protected, right? Um, they might be on the real food stamps. They might be getting housing assistance, right? Nothing wrong with that, by the way. If I can get some right before the system collapse, I sure get me some of them good old food stamps. I wish they wouldn't have. Back in the day, you could go buy it. Hey, let me get 50. I'll give you 100 for 50. Them books of stamps, them books of stamps was popping. Yeah, they think they cushy. They think that they are set, but all of that, from what I have realized, is it's a setup. It's the setup, okay? They getting ready to cut housing, so you about to see more and more people on the street. They got to make way for. They got to make way for the people they bringing in, right? And they cutting the food assistance with the WIC program. I don't know if y'all know about WIC. That was like milk, butter, like the old government, the government program. They cutting WIC butter. They ain't giving you no government cheese no more. Even hey, they cutting it off. Ain't got no money, they say. Baby's gonna go home. We are under siege and no one sees it. But a few people see it. I can't say no one. A few people see it. I mean, we are literally under siege right now. It's a slow siege, a sneaky siege. Business as usual, they want to keep everybody else thinking, right? It's a slow siege. But the Bible says the herbs heals the nation. A lot of people be like, they put their own twist on that, right? Right? Mm. People put their own twist about the herbs and this and that heals the nation. That's what he was talking about. I mean, literally, like I said, you're eating steak and lobster and all that. Oof. Think about I think about all of these people who did all these mukbangs and had the big old spread of death on their plate, and I can't lie, I watch them. I'd be like, mm. It just don't look good. I think people watch those type of things because it's a shock. How can you eat that much food? They gonna go into literal shock because their system is they've trained their system to accommodate that type of food and have the craving and the hunger for that type that volume of food consumption when everything is going down in um, you know weight and fluid size, and but the price is going up to where they're going to price you out to where you can't find hardly anything to eat unless you've already stocked up with your grains and your whatever you stocked up on, right? But the government is something else. I thought to myself, because I enjoy watching different YouTube videos and TikToks and survival videos, and I've even tried to grow a garden of mine. I've utterly failed several times trying to grow food because I really believe the seeds are even if they're the seeds that you're supposed to get, not the hybrid seeds, but the other seed, lumen, whatever they call those doggone seeds. I think that's garbage. Everything around you that's supposed to support your being is garbage. We are literally eating and breathing and drinking garbage. And but yet and still, it's business as usual. And I've watched people grow beautiful home gardens, right? Backyard gardens. You think the government hadn't thought about and are watching you like they watch us? Like, hello, government, y'all are so mean. Y'all are so mean. You think they haven't watched you grow your beautiful gardens outside in your backyards, on your patios? Yeah. They have to make all that illegal. Mark my words. I mean, it already started in some states. Illegal. Yeah. This is a housing residence. But this is my patio. No, put flowers there. No food. Lock her up. She's growing food. Lock him up. He got a whole spread in the backyard. This man got a pecan tree, an apple tree. Cut it down. Or matter of fact, just cut the female trees down. Leave the males. It'll die off eventually. But lock them up. Oh, yeah. Y'all gardens look beautiful. But let me tell you something. If we're thinking along the lines of, steak dinner, going down the line, eating what you can, growing your own garden, then the lockup comes. We're going to give you 6 months. Don't go back out there and grow the garden no more. You understand? Yes, I understand. Get back out there. Starve to death. Okay? Or go pay $5,000 for some bubble gum, one piece. Chew yourself to death. I tell y'all, you go back out, you have nothing. Since, that's what the plan is. They don't want you to have nothing. But the Bible says, somebody, can I get a hallelujah? The herbs heal the nation. So what would your next step be? Because see, there's something that you hear about people always hollering about, the herbs. There's some, most of them, they'll talk about weed, like ganja, like, no, we're not talking about smoking, no, herb. The herbs heal the nation. Well, you can't go out and you can't grow your own cilantro. You might like a little cilantro. You can't, because you get locked back up, right? But what is something that these entities, known as your government, have created to kill something that is pervasive? I think when the Most High said the herbs heal the nation, he meant the weeds that you don't understand. The weeds that you have no recollection of anymore, that are survival foods for you. That no matter how much they pluck and pull, they are pervasive. They continue to come back. No matter how they spray. What are they called? GMOs that are in your food to keep them strong and all that, and keep the bugs away and the weeds away, And then the pesticides and the cancer and all that, we're finding out they're all in bed together. They make the pesticides and the GMOs, and all of them links to the cancer, and they try to kill the weeds, right? Your dandelions. That the whole plant is edible. We're talking serious here. I'm talking about hunter-gatherer situation here. That possibly could go back to. And if it doesn't, I mean, it could not, and it will not hurt you to understand if it went down to nada, nothing. You couldn't go to the grocery store to get nothing. Heck, you couldn't even work hard enough on the hamster wheel, right? To even afford to get to the store to buy the $4,000 piece of cheese. You couldn't even work that hard to even get your piece of cheese, because that's luxury now. All that goes to pot, up in the air. You didn't stock up, and if you did, it's gone. You planted gardens in your homes, backyard homes, and now the government has, passed laws to lock you up. But one thing they can't kill are the weeds, are the plants, are certain plants that are pervasive and that are healthy for you, and that some are foods and some are medicines. And what you need to do right now, if you have not heard this, because I know you've heard grow your own, but you're not prepared for the government telling you will be locked down if you grow your own foods. Something that they have tried to do to keep you to go into their grocery store, into that system, into that maze. They have always tried to keep the food away from the people, the free, you see, food. You were born a free being, and on this planet, just like the birds that sing, just like the fish that swim, the Most High provided food and nutrients for you, but capitalism came in, gathered all that up, separated you from nature outside, separated you from outside, and said, we will make it convenient for you long as you stay on this hamster wheel and don't go outside and learn that there are actual plants, the herbs, that heal the nation, that they cannot kill. And they try to kill it time and time again, and they take over time and time again. But do you know which ones are good for medicine and which ones are good for foods? And there's some that are so potent that you say, oh no, I need my what are strong medicines like codeine or something. I need my codeine because I have pain that I'm suffering from. So, do you know that there is a weed that is more potent than the codeine, and then you can use the leaves of this particular weed to make a tea for sedation? But if you don't know these things, and they can't destroy this, no matter how hard they try, these particular weeds, for food and what? For healing the nation. So you got to be able to pivot up. No more steak dinners. Up. No more outdoor gardening. Up. I guess I'm here at the weeds. Now, which ones? You know, that's what you need to be focusing on, in my opinion. And maybe we'll take a field trip one day and I'll show you some particular weeds and other outdoor foods that you can eat. And they're everywhere once you start to look. And you'll be like, wow. But I won't show you too much. I'll let you study that on your own and lock it in. Especially if you happen to have to be on the run, you know, you lock stuff in. I'm not saying, on the run. That sounds so futuristic. I don't know. I don't know if we'll be on the run, but just in case. Just in case. Okay. Oh, did I show that already? Okay. I know I missed some comments, but I'm out, guys. It's been a pleasure and much, much love. Let me see. Woo! So, yeah. Up, out, and much love, guys. Y'all have a plan.